Hey everybody! Kayfabe Corner is live in Santa Clara. I'm here with Bethany Staples.
Hi!
And I found a Bret Bealer.
Boners!
Boners! Alright, so we're going to quickly run through our Wrestlemania predictions because we have to hop in a cab to get the fuck to the stadium and to eat because I'm fucking hungry.
Me too.
Alright.
Fat kids.
Fat kids, yeah! Wait, that sucked.
Look at the elbow!
Yeah! Alright. By the way, are we going to do that, the wing eating thing?
Yeah, I'm down.
Okay, cool.
Oh, I'm totally down.
Okay, cool. Alright, so...
find some wings.
Find some wings. There has to be a restaurant around this state.
Somewhere.
Okay, has to be. Alright, so let's quickly get through this. Start with the pre-show, Brett.
Alright, pre-show is the tag title match. Cesaro and Tyson Kidd versus the Usos, which I don't know, is one of the Usos broken?
I don't know if you still heard
So
or not.
I guess we'll find out.
I bet you that they just kept him off TV to let him heal up in time for WrestleMania, so...
And then Los Matadores and New Day.
The new gay.
New Gay.
The blue gay.
The Blue Gay.
I say Cesaro and the cat guy.
Fact.
Okay, so out of those, Bethany, let's get your Girl Meets Wrestling casual corner point of view on the WrestleMania card.
I like the Usos.
She loves the Usos.
I do.
She's going with Jimmy and Jay. Okay, what's the next?
Next one is Orton versus Rollins.
I think Orton, just because they have to end the feud.
I think it's 50-50, and I know nobody else does, but I think Rollins is cashing in at the end of the night, so I think Orton's going over.
Okay, and you?
Probably Orton.
LOL, Orton wins. All right.
Next, as Josh put it, tag team titties. Paige and AJ Lee versus the Bella Twins.
I believe he put Paige and CM Punk. Because we're going to hear a lot of that. I say Paige and Lee, Miss Punk.
Yeah, opposite momentum rules. They kind of had their blow up on Monday, so they'll probably win today.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I agree. Just because I hate the Bellas.
All right, and America, fuck yeah. We've got Cena, LOL, and Rusev.
Cena wins, LOL.
I know he's most likely to win. I'm going Rusev. I think they're going to keep his momentum going.
I think they're actually going to have Cena beat him by submission.
I mean, obviously that's what they've been building up to. It's what everybody's been expecting since a year ago. They said Rusev's going undefeated till next WrestleMania, and Cena's going to eat him up.
Food,
just like they've done with every monster they've built in the last 10 years. And I know I'm hoping against hope, but I think Rusev's going to pull out the win.
Beffy?
Well, I want Rusev to win, just because I can't stand Cena, but I'm going with the safe bet that Cena's winning.
All right.
And then we've got Undertaker versus Bray Wyatt.
I think Undertaker, if they're going with the Sting Taker match next month or next year at WrestleMania, yeah.
Taker.
I think it's Taker because I don't think that they're going to let him be beat twice in a row.
That's very true.
I've always been confused. I remember when Orton fought him, was it WrestleMania 23?
22, 23?
Somewhere around then. And they've never done it. I'm surprised they never go with the DQ finish. So it looks like somebody goes over Taker at Mania, but he maintained the streak that's now over.
Yeah.
But I was always wondering why they never did that. So maybe tonight, but probably not.
Like with Wyatt getting himself disqualified?
Yeah. So Taker gets the win, but Wyatt kind of, looks strong.
I mean, yeah, but then they wouldn't have any kind of decisive blow-off for the feud. So I don't know.
It's true. It's a good point.
And Taker's not wrestling again until next year, so... Alright.
Next one up is the ladder match. We've got Bad News Barrett, Ambrose, Ziggler, R-Truth, Luke Harper, Daniel Bryan, and Stardust.
Daniel Bryan all the way. The only guy who did not steal the belt. When they were doing the little rotating, yeah.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Well, I'm wearing a Daniel Bryan shirt. I think he's going to get it.
And her Colt Cabana shirt as well.
That's an awesome overshirt. I love it. The Battle Royal, the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which is just way too much of a mouthful.
Yeah.
Michael Cole can barely say WWE.
Vince McMahon can barely say WWE.
I am going with the returning Sheamus.
I say Mizdow.
Who's in it?
A lot. All the jobbers. All the jobbers and then
anybody who doesn't have a match is in this one, basically.
Well, then I want Mizdow to win if he's in it.
I think he wins by eliminating Miz in the end. So.
Ooh.
And then Triple H versus Sting.
Triple H. No, it's going to Sting.
Sting. I don't think Triple H has won a match in 2 years.
Good.
Yeah. I saw something a few months ago saying he hadn't won a pay-per-view match in forever and he never wrestles on TV. Pretty sure it's been about 2 years now since he's won a match.
All right, we're not guaranteed another Sting match. We don't know if the Sting Taker match is going to happen next year. This might be his only WrestleMania match.
It's going to happen next year.
Well, I'm saying, we don't have that guarantee. This could be Sting's only WrestleMania match. I don't think he loses to Triple H. Unless Triple H got really angry at that wrestling is real, or wrestling is fake video. Wrestling isn't wrestling, that's what it was called.
Yep.
I don't know.
All right, and then the match that tore Kayfabe Corner apart. Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns.
I know. It was like a bad breakup.
A fake bad breakup. So who do you got?
LOL was a work.
Now that Brock has re-signed, has that changed your mind at all?
Yeah, I think it's Brock.
I think it's going to be Brock, but I still think Rollins is cashing.
Yeah, I think that's what I put in my predictions as well.
I think it's going to be Brock. I don't want it to be, but I think it's going to be.
I really miss seeing the title on every week, on the show every week. But I was just talking to a dude from London who's here for the show, and he is actually a fan of Brock being the champion. And his reasoning was that back in the day when WWE only ran MSG shows once a month, you only saw the champion every so often. So, I mean, that was a good point, but at the same time, I don't know. I miss there being an actual champion on Raw. Yeah,
I feel you. It does make it feel a bit more special, and I'm sure Josh will have plenty to say about that.
Oh, Jim? Josh?
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see it back on more often. It kind of sucked that Punk held the belt for his 434 days, and then The Rock takes it from him, and then the week after they introduced the new belt. That seemed kind of cheap. And then...
Oh, no, that was definitely a fuck you to Punk.
Yep.
Because remember, Punk had told everybody, hey, they're making a new belt. They're making a new belt. And that was a year before he lost it.
Yep. And then the belt kind of played hot potato between Rock and Cena, and then I think they unified it to Orton and all that crap. I don't remember. It was a year's worth of crap. So, and they unified him, and then the belts weren't on anymore. Big Gold went bye-bye.
Yeah. So... Yeah. You can't forget the most important one.
The mega faggots explode.
Yes, all over each other's face, neck, and chest.
I'm going over, brother.
I choose the fuck for the finish.
All right, me too.
It's going to be a fucked finish.
Yay!
What are you guys talking about?
Bethany gets to watch.
Yeah. The battle of the mega faggots here.
Oh.
Who's going over?
As in a top?
Sure.
I think Bret's the top.
Aww.
Yes.
All right.
And look at two gay guys on our TV right now. Thanks, Game of Thrones.
This is gonna be my
Game of Bones. All right, so we got to get a cab, get the fuck out of here.
Fat kids need food.
Fat kids need food. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good show.
I'm excited.
I'm almost 100% positive that Raw the next night's going to be better, but...
Who's our awesome musical guest going to be?
I don't know, Tampon or something.
Tampon?
I forgot what his name is.
All right, I'm very excited for Tampon.
Later, faggots.
Bye, fags.
Bye.
That's all you got. And we're back.
Yay! Why you know yay, Beffy?
Yay.
Yeah, there we go.
I don't think she had a good time.
Must not have.
You hated WrestleMania, didn't you?
Hated it.
She's probably just not a fan of being a lobster.
Yeah.
Rock lobster.
I'm not a fan of being burned to death at the show.
Yeah, so we're all very sunburned. I think it was it on Facebook or something like that where they were saying that the biggest heel at the show was the sun?
I think it was Reddit, so Josh will probably hate me for that. But yeah, biggest heel of the night was Daylight.
Yes.
Fuck Levi Stadium.
Yeah.
Their design is retarded.
Great show, though.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I'd probably put it best WrestleMania in probably 6 years, at least.
I thought last year was pretty great. It'd be kind of hard to compare without watching them like back to back, but considering I was there, I'll just agree.
So we did our predictions yesterday before we left. Now we're gonna go through and go match by match and talk about it a little bit. So Brett, what's the first one?
First match was the tag team championship match. We had Tyson Kidd and Cesaro. They won. They beat the Usos, which was more just Uso.
Yeah, Jimmy was taken out like within a minute.
Right away.
Yeah.
Los Matadores and I don't know who was the other team.
Who was the other team?
Not important enough to remember.
No, it was just a big spot fest. Pretty good though. Good way to kick off the show.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody had been sitting around. We all expected the pre-show to start at 2, and that match wasn't until like closer to 3.
New Day.
There we
that
go.
Was it, yeah.
Again, who cares? But I think the crowd was all anxious and rowdy. It was just ready for anything. Like you could have put 2 broomsticks in there, and we'd have cheered our heads off for it. So
yeah, which sticks actually came into play later in the show, and we did cheer our heads off for.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, so next match, the Battle Royal.
The Battle Royal, as most Battle Royals, was kind of a clusterfuck, but it had a few good moments as they weeded out a lot of the jobbers. The whole Mizdow stuff was awesome.
Yeah, there was a lot of cool spots in that match. The Big Show, Hideo Itami.
Oh, yeah.
Spot.
Godzilla!
Yeah. What else? There was a bunch.
I really liked... Even though, as it came down to Mizdow, who I think should just be Sandow now. Can we stop saying Mizdow?
Yes, we can.
Okay, Sandow and Big Show. I think we were all expecting, okay, Big Show's going to win. He's got it. It's Andre the Giant. He doesn't win these very often, and it's just him. He's probably going to win. But they did a good job of kind of keeping us on the edge of our seat, hoping that Sandow was going to pull out that victory.
Yeah, and then they almost did the Benoit finish from the 2004 Rumble when he started to pull him over the top rope, and we lost our shit a little bit there, abandoned our morals, and just decided that we're this close from chanting Benoit at the top of our lungs. Just kidding, we wouldn't do that because we're not faggots.
Yes, we are.
Oh, okay. What was the next match?
I don't know. I was thinking Beffy probably wasn't into it because Big Show didn't cry.
Yeah.
I know.
She loves the Big Show.
I do. I wanted to give him a hug, but he looked really sweaty. So maybe not.
His body was crying.
His body was crying. No, I like Sandow, so I was hoping that he was going to win, even though I like Big Show. So at the end, I was like, either way, I'm okay.
That was it for the pre-show. The show kicked off with the ladder match, which Daniel Bryan won. And
yes.
Daniel Bryan, Stardust, Dean Ambrose, Bad News Barrett, R-Truth, Dolph Ziggler. Did I miss anybody? Luke Harper. And yeah, I think that was a good match to start off on.
Yeah.
Can we talk for a second about how fucking fast Ziggler is on those ladders?
Yeah,
like a spider.
That's
monkey.
That's against the rules. There need to be clearly established rules.
Yeah, you're supposed to slowly climb.
You are not allowed to climb the ladder that fast.
Yeah.
And we all saw a man die.
Yeah, poor Dean.
Oh my
poor
God.
Ambrose.
Fucking powerbombed over the top rope through a ladder, right on his fucking head.
Yeah, it looked like a brutal fall. I think the whole stadium kind of went, ooh.
Yeah.
And I'm expecting him to come out to Raw tonight with just a giant cast on his head.
Or just a full body cast.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, Daniel Bryan.
Yes.
Last year, he got to end the show with a big title win. This year, he opens it with a big title win.
Yeah, I was excited.
I think it was smart. Almost kind of made up for the Rumble where he got eliminated early.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it necessarily made up for it, but they didn't make the same mistake twice.
Yeah.
They didn't start off the show with pissing people off, because, he is fan favorite right now. I've got to put him on top of the mountain over everybody else.
Yeah, he's the darling.
He's the one. So, good choice by them to put that on it. Helps bring a little prestige back to the belt. Later in the show, you had all the old guys like Piper and Bret Hart and Ric Flair and Pat Patterson come out and kind of help elevate Bryan and the title a little bit more as well. So I kind of like the direction that the titles are regaining their meaning again.
Yeah, they're doing a very good job at doing that. And I'm actually kind of surprised that, with what happened at the end of the show, because I figured the reason why they were elevating these secondary titles is because the world title wasn't going to be around. And so you elevate these other titles so you can main event your pay-per-views with the IC belt or the US title, and people won't feel like they're being gypped. But obviously they weren't going that direction.
Overall, even with, obviously it's a good thing that the heavyweight title is going to be on more often now. But still, there's fewer belts to go around these days, so it's good that they are trying to put the meaning back into them.
Now merge the fucking IC and US titles.
No! Then there's too few. Then there's not enough belts to go around.
I think less is more, though.
Unless they're
going
to
need two.
Unless they're going to bring back, like, Cruiserweight or, God forbid, the Hardcore title in this PG era.
Cookie sheets for days.
I think IC and US need to stay separate.
And I think you're a faggot.
I know you're a faggot.
What do you think, Beffy?
About what?
Exactly.
Faggots.
I know I'm sleeping with a couple of them this weekend.
Whoa.
It's been the highlight of my week.
All right, next match, which I feel had the spot of the night, Randy Orton and Seth Rollins. And I was personally pretty excited for this match because Rollins is awesome.
Yeah.
Rollins, he goes out there and he absolutely wants to steal the show every single night. And I feel he's been doing that for the better part of a year. But that spot, man, when he goes for the curb stomp and Orton just launches him into the air and hits the RKO, it's been replaying in my mind since then. Like, it was probably the in-ring spot of the night for me.
Yeah, definitely. I figured the match was going to be awesome. I'm a fan of both guys. Orton sometimes can be a little too methodical in the ring, so it comes across as being boring. Rest hold Randy. But when he is on his A game, he's fucking gold.
I feel like he gets complacent when he phones it in both his promos and his matches. But when he's in a good feud and it's hot and you can tell he's invested in it, he really does shine. He brings out a lot of his best work.
Yeah, good match.
Any comments, Beffy?
I liked it. I think... Well, no, I was thinking about what you guys were saying about Orton, because me being casual, I tune out wrestling a lot. So
We do too, don't worry.
So I tune out Randy Orton a lot. But I think that what makes it really interesting is who he feuds with. Because like you said, he feeds off of it. And, there are just some people like that where they can't... Seth Rollins is just always on. It doesn't matter who he's with. You could put him in the ring with a broomstick, and he would make that broomstick shine. But Orton is the type of person where he's almost like a mirror. So he's going to take it, and then he's going to reflect it back. So it just makes the whole thing, just charismatic and really fun to watch. And that RKO was amazing.
Yeah. I when I think of Randy Orton, I always think of... the feud, in my opinion, of 2011, him and Christian. They went out every month, had great fucking matches. We were there for one of them. Mm-hmm. It was the match of the night.
Yep.
They tore down the house every fucking match of that feud, and it was a long fucking
Oh, that was
feud.
a good feud.
Yeah.
I like your comment about him being a mirror. I think that's highly accurate.
Yeah,
definitely.
I like him.
All right, next match was Triple H versus Sting. Which was just a nostalgia fest. It was a blast. I can't think of any actual in-ring spots that were amazing, but just the fact that you had all those guys come out there was great.
Well, because it started out as just, we got maybe 5 minutes of a wrestling match, then all of a sudden it turned into, and you made the comparison, this is like WCW. It turned this, overbooked mess, but it was beautiful.
Well, and we were joking around, after DX came out, you were like, oh, next Four Horsemen's coming out, and then I was like, oh, and then NWO's coming out. And then the fucking NWO came out. I know I mentioned this to you last night. I feel like they did miss a little bit of an opportunity because they had DX music's hit and the crowd pops, and they had NWO's music hit and the crowd pops, and then Shawn just kind of appeared. HBK out of nowhere.
Yeah, you didn't even notice him at first.
No, yeah. I mean, everybody kind of, there he is. It's Shawn. But I feel like, he's still, I think, right up there with Daniel Bryan as far as fan favorites.
Oh, yeah.
Like, absolutely. And just to have his music hit, I mean, the place would have completely erupted. It would have been a bigger pop than either DX or NWO. So a little bit of a missed opportunity, but it's still a great segment.
Yeah.
Don't fast forward the entrances either.
Oh,
Fucking
yes,
Triple H's entrance was amazing.
Yeah, with the Terminators. Yes.
So badass.
That was pretty awesome. I mean, we were there, seeing him peel back the carpet where the WrestleMania logo was and seeing them there. And, I mean, I'm in the group chat with everybody telling them, like, oh, don't miss this shit. Like, entrances are going to be good.
Yeah. You could look down into the holes and see the heads of the T-1000s. And, Bethany recorded, got video of the entire entrance. And on the video, she's freaking out, like marking the fuck out, like, oh my god!
What do you think about Triple H winning the match?
I don't think that was the right way to go, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, really, Sting's first match. I mean, maybe only match, probably not. I still think he'll have at least one more.
Yeah. Now I definitely think he will. He's not going to lose his one and only match.
Right. But again, Triple H hasn't had a win in forever. I know he's always been, in the IWC looked at as he's the ultimate barrier, him and his shovel. He hasn't won a match in forever, with the exception of yesterday. Does he really need it? We discussed a little bit last night. No, but it lends a little bit of credibility.
Yeah.
I mean, if he's just going to lose every match he has for years on end, then it kind of loses its luster.
Yeah, I was trying to think back to the last match he won, and I think it was that ladder match against Kevin Nash in 2011. It was December of 2011.
He had a ladder match with Kevin Nash?
Yeah, they put the sledgehammer.
I do not remember that at
all. It was the main event of the TLC pay-per-view, main event, because there was the title match. It was CM Punk defending against Ziggler.
But then again, how often does he fight, though?
Well, yeah.
So yeah, you could say he hasn't won in forever, but this is also his first fight in a year.
Yeah, but all the matches he's been in are big time matches.
Yeah, he puts himself in big time matches.
Put over the Shield a few times. He put over Punk.
No, he beat Punk.
No, he beat Punk, then he went away. He came out of retirement, beat Punk, went away. You're right.
He beat Punk, went away for a month, came back, and that's when they had the match with Nash.
Right.
The ladder match.
And then he had a few matches with Brock, which I think 3 matches. I think Brock won 2, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
And then I don't think he's won since then. Until last night.
Did he beat Lesnar in one of those?
He did win
Okay,
once.
so that was the last one.
I think Brock won the first time, Triple H won the second, and then Brock won the third, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Either way, I liked the match. It was like I said, it was nostalgia. It was overly booked, but it was awesome.
Yeah, it was like an old WCW match, which is fine considering you got Sting there. It's his first match. It fit.
Yeah, and then you were the one who brought the comparison later on to the I don't know where you read it about the it being almost like a metaphor for the Attitude Era.
Yep, it was like Triple H was WWE, Sting was WCW, and I don't remember the exact beats of the match, but from what I read, right as Triple H is getting beaten down and Sting's kind of, dominating the match, DX comes in, kind of like when WWE is getting beat down back in the Attitude Era. And then, DX obviously wasn't the sole savior of WWE during that time period, as much as Triple H would like to tell himself that. But regardless, it fit with the history of WWE and WCW. And really made it fit, because, when they first started doing Sting Triple H, I think we were all bent about it. Like, no, Sting Undertaker, that's what we want. And I think we still probably would have preferred that, but they made it work.
Yeah.
So, next match was the Divas match, AJ and Paige versus the Bella Twins.
AJ's boots!
AJ's boots!
That was the big winner.
Careful, they're Converse. Presley might hate you.
I know.
But, Converse are pretty popular, and he hates everything that's popular.
Everything.
Hashtag. I think I got up to go take a piss and get something to drink. I don't remember much of the match. I saw the entrances, and then I saw the finish, and that was it. I missed the entirety of the match.
I saw the entrances, and that was it. So, yeah.
Bethy?
I tuned out on a lot of it.
All right.
But AJ got to do that one move thing that she does.
The submission move?
The Black Arrow?
Submission.
Yeah, I saw that. That was right as I came back.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah. I like when they have to tap out on her ass.
Yeah.
It makes me happy. But yeah, hashtag give Divas a chance. Next was Cena versus Rusev, which Rusev got a pretty epic entrance.
Yeah.
I remember you pointing out, like, ooh, I wonder what's under that tarp. And then when they're doing all the video package to give them time to do it, and they pulled the tarp away, it's a tank!
For him to get on and drive 50 feet.
Yep. All of 50 feet. Couldn't even get past the crowd. But regardless, having them and all the soldiers out there and all the flags and the pyro and the fireworks going off and everything, that was a good spectacle. I liked it.
Yeah, and then the best part, Lana.
Yes, of course. I mean, we were, way the fuck up there, almost one section away from the nosebleeds, and you could still just make out the shape of her ass. Like, very nice.
What do you think of Lana's ass?
I don't like Lana. I don't like her. I don't like blondes, for one, and I don't like Russian accents. And so the whole, like...
But what about fake Russian accents?
Well, even fake ones. Those are even worse. It's like Boris
But she has
Natasha.
the best fake Russian accent ever.
I don't know. I'm just over the whole, like, fake Russian, or even Russian, like, I don't know. I'm just, it reminds me of Boris and Natasha. And I'm like, really?
I love Boris and Natasha.
It's more like Rocky. What was that? Rocky 4? That's kind of what they were going for with this feud.
Yeah, the guy behind us kept talking about that.
Yeah.
The guy behind us was a douche.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Lana's character. I think she's so good at what she does. Like, as the little heel spokesperson for Rusev, which after last night, I don't know if that's...
They looked like they kind of broke off last night.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of hard to say. I guess we'll find out tonight.
Yeah.
What is it with WWE thinking that the only way that they can break up a couple, or, because I know that they're not like a couple, but break up a pair like that, is to have another wrestler or referee or somebody push them into the person, and then that person is automatically retarded enough to think that it was done on purpose. Like, they just did it yesterday with Lana. They did it Tyson Kidd.
Yeah.
And that just seems to be what they do. And that person is always too stupid to realize that it must have been an accident.
I know if I was in a match and my wife got in the way, even if it wasn't her fault, I'd be pissed off for a week. So it kind of makes sense, I guess.
And they actually are a real life couple.
Are they?
Yeah. It's. I guess they just bought a house together. They're not married, and they just bought a house together. So that's gonna spell doom for him down the line.
As far as the actual match goes, it was pretty cookie cutter Cena match.
Exactly.
I can't even remember any good spots in the match. It was Cena getting his ass kicked the whole time, and then coming back. And we had our predictions yesterday. I was holding out for Rusev, and I knew I shouldn't have. And yeah.
The best part about that match was the lack of response from the crowd. Like, the biggest responses were when Cena was getting his ass kicked. But, like, even the little kids, we had little kids sitting in our section, they got up to leave. Like, fuck it, we're going to the bathroom.
Yep.
They took a bathroom break, and even Cena winning, like, he gets ready to do his, you can't see me bullshit, and everybody's just, you could feel the eye rolling that happened in that stadium. And even when he won, it wasn't a really huge deal. That's what I thought. It was funny.
There was a guy section over and a few rows down. They had the big Russian flag.
Yes.
Yeah. And I remember pointing out to you guys, just like, oh, this guy's gonna get his ass kicked. It's hilarious. I love that he's trolling. He was wearing 49ers gear too, by the way, if you didn't notice. And as soon as the ref's hand came down for the 3, he tossed the flag over the balcony. He was just done, just disgusted.
Russia let him down for the last time.
I don't know. I feel like it would have been a good opportunity, further solidify Rusev as like one of the top heels that they have. But I guess at the same time, they're hurting more for faces right now than they are for heels. They've got the heel side pretty booked. With Brock is somewhat of a tweener, but they've got Rollins and.
But I mean, it's getting progressively more and more noticeable that Cena, even as a heel or as a face, is so boring. Like, even the kids are getting bored with it, and that was their market. Like, that has been their market for a long time, and even the kids are just like, whatever, Yep. It's because their parents are buying them the Cena gear, but the kids don't care anymore.
Yeah.
And, like,
it happened
WWE
with our kid.
Yeah.
He was a Cena fan.
Huge Cena fan.
And like, we kept buying him Cena stuff, and he, like, over the course of a year, you could tell he got a little less excited each time he got something new. He's like, oh, yay, a new Cena foam hand.
Yeah.
Which we should have had last night to block out the sun.
Yeah.
They should have just given away to everybody for free in our section. Use them as visors.
But, I mean, I guess speaking kayfabe-wise, it goes back to what we were talking about earlier with the IC title. They're kind of, raising the prestige of the belt by putting it on their top guy. Love him or hate him, Cena is the top guy. So, putting one of the secondary belts on him does help, bring up the importance of that belt.
Yeah, but the match, like I said, it was cookie cutter. And the finish, I thought was the most predictable thing they could have done. You could tell a year ago that they were building Rusev to eventually feed him to Cena, and now it makes you wonder. Okay, what are they going to do with Rusev? Are they going to give him another high profile feud going into this? Are they going to give him another match with Cena, or is he just going to move down the card because his usefulness is over? And Lana's going to be the one who's the most over out of those two.
Absolutely.
She's going to go on to bigger things, and I don't see the same thing for Rusev.
I hope you're wrong, but, I mean, I guess we'll see. I like Rusev. I think he's pretty solid in the ring, and with Lana as his mouthpiece, he's a great character, so I guess we're going to see if he can make it on his own.
Just no more matches with Swagger.
Yeah, no more. They had a chance to really kind of rebuild Swagger then. I've hated Swagger since the first time I saw him. But when, Rusev first started, really pulling in the heat and they put him in that feud with Swagger, I thought that was a good opportunity to, build Swagger back up again. He is a former World Heavyweight Champion. Unfortunately. As much as he should not be. But, I guess I can't really blame him for, just jobbing him out to Rusev the way they did. But yeah, it's kind of like I said. It seemed like they were pushing him a little bit, and then as soon as his feud with Rusev was over, all right, go away. We'll pull you back to fight with Rusev every few months when he needs to win a match. Next wasn't really a match. It was the whole Triple H, Stephanie, Rock, Ronda Rousey.
This was
bit.
Fucking great.
It was pretty
awesome.
Great. Yeah,
5 minutes of everybody chanting for Rocky.
Yep.
That is I cannot think of any other star in wrestling history that has ever had something like that. Maybe Hogan.
Maybe.
Or
Stone Cold.
Stone Cold, I don't... But 5 straight minutes.
Yeah.
I don't think there's ever been for any...
What?
Fuck off. But no, Hogan at WrestleMania 18, it was like that. Which is funny since I was against The Rock. But... yeah, this was great.
It was. I don't remember all the, one-liners, something about Vince's Johnson being responsible for Steph that got a pretty good laugh out of the crowd. But it was a good bit. It was a good little cool down. I guess you don't really need to cool down after a John Cena match.
That was the cool down.
Maybe this could have gone on after Undertaker Wyatt, but they were already pretty pressed for time. By the time this ended, it was already after 7, I think, right about 7 o'clock. You got your 2 essentially main events to go on. But yeah, it was great. I think everybody was hyped to see Ronda Rousey get in the ring. You wanted to punch me in the face because I loved her shirt. Over 9,000. Yeah, good banner back and forth. I noticed Stephanie seems to be kind of stepping on Triple H's toes a lot lately. He kind of takes a back seat to her these last few weeks. It's like 75% Steph, 25% Triple H.
I think it's been like that for most of the Authority storyline.
I feel like it's been a bit more half and half until this last month. I could be wrong.
Look at the stuff with Brian. It was mostly Stephanie.
Right. I feel like that was almost their way of giving him the D rub,
Dick rub?
Yeah, the dick rub, the unrub. He almost wasn't. At the time, it felt like he wasn't important enough to have to deal with Triple H. He'll send his wife out to deal with Daniel Bryan because that's all it's going to take to quell him. That's the way it came off to me at the time.
I kind of took it the opposite way. I kind of took it to be Stephanie probably does. Maybe it implies that maybe in the background she's like, no, I run this company. You sit back, you're my muscle. Type thing, because she would always bring him out if she wanted him to beat up somebody. Now she's not even doing that. She's just slapping bitches left and right now.
Yep.
So she's not even using Triple H for that. And
I feel like that's the direction they're going to go in.
Yeah.
Because obviously the Authority storyline did not come to a head last night. It's still going on.
Yeah.
They never put in the stipulation with the Sting match where if he won, the Authority was done or anything like that.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised.
Which, after Survivor Series, you thought that's where they were going to go.
Yeah.
But, so the Authority's still going. At this point, I think that's the only way to end it, is to pretty much have Stephanie kind of take over and Triple H maybe turn face. I don't know. Hard to say.
Yeah.
Next was Undertaker, Bray Wyatt, Entrance Fest.
Yes.
Thankfully, the sun had pretty much fucked off by that point.
And I think that's actually the whole point of that last segment.
Oh, it was
to
absolutely.
kill time and let the sun go down a little bit. The Scarecrows.
The Scarecrows were awesome.
Yes.
They were so awesome.
I think it was Presley said something in the group last night about I wonder which one of those scarecrows is Tyler Breeze, and zing,
Dicks.
Taker looked great.
Yeah, way better than last year.
Yeah, way better than last year. Some of his hair grew back in. He didn't look quite as wrinkly. He didn't look quite as pale.
Yeah, he was really pale last year. He looked sick.
even before the
He did look
concussion
sick.
last year, like as he was coming out, he looked like an old man.
Yeah.
He looked bulkier too.
Yeah,
this
he
year.
didn't look too slow this year. I mean, obviously, he's 50, so he's going to be somewhat slow. But I mean, just night and day compared to last year. And the match was solid. Nothing special to write home about, other than the fact that it's your one Undertaker match you get a year.
There was that part though where
Bray was
Wyatt
upside
did
down.
his upside down thing, and then Taker sat up, which I don't think he could have done as quickly last year either.
Yeah.
Just the whole real fast sit up thing, staring at him.
Yep.
Like I up in the 300 level, and I got chills.
Yeah.
Watching that, I was like, "That's badass."
The look on Wyatt's face when that happened was
yes.
just like...
and then he shrank.
Yep, he just played like the whole completely terrified aspect
Yep.
so well without saying a word.
Yeah,
Like,
he
Yeah.
literally became the new face of Fear.
Yes.
Yes.
Your thoughts, Staples?
I thought it was an Undertaker match.
Yep.
It was an Undertaker match.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like most of his other matches that he has at WrestleMania. Nothing super special, but at the same time,
Rest hold.
He himself is what's special about an Undertaker match.
Absolutely.
It's just being able to see the Undertaker. And I was trying to think if I'd ever seen Undertaker wrestle live, and it was just the one time. It was at the last time I went to WrestleMania, and that was his worst, in my opinion, well, at least one of the worst WrestleMania matches he's ever had.
That was when he was Big Evil, right?
Yeah, it was.
Who did he...
It was supposed to be him and Nathan Jones versus Big Show and A-Train.
And it just ended up being a handicap match,
Yeah, because
right?
they
Yeah.
realized a week before WrestleMania that Nathan Jones was terrible, and so they took him off TV and never brought him back.
I thought he quit because he didn't want to travel.
I don't know.
That was I remember reading that way back in the day. It's kind of weird that Nathan Jones still sticks around in people's heads. Such a generic name, Nathan Jones. But everybody remembers the guy.
Terror from Bagaro, or whatever the fuck they called him.
Must just be because they stuck him with Taker. And that's why everybody remembers him. If he'd just been some other jobber, fucking Mark Jindrak, nobody would remember. Like...
Mark Jindrak.
And then the last match, Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar for the belt, with Rollins cashing in at the end. We all went apeshit. It was amazing.
Yes.
Brock bled within 15 seconds.
Well, I mean,
It was a match.
I was watching
It was a ways into the match.
I was watching a GIF of it last night. Fuck anybody who says GIF.
It's GIF.
And fuck yes, it is GIF. But no, that was a complete legit break open, and he was gushing pretty good from that to start. But I mean, you can see it. He's standing there, and he's just holding Roman and shoves him in, and he gives him a pretty good shove right into the pole. And there's zero opportunity for him to blade or anything. Like I said in last night, there's a blade in the pole that he hit.
Yeah. Because he had taken off his gloves at that point, so
Yeah.
he couldn't even hide one.
And yeah, I mean, I thought it was a pretty good match. I know Presley likes to shit on everything Brock Lesnar, but I like his style. It's MMA pro wrestling infused. It's a lot rougher. It's a lot stiffer than everybody else's style. And he doesn't go out there and he doesn't perform a technical masterpiece. He hits fucking 7 Germans, which might be
stops.
boring with anybody else.
He
but
treats wrestlers like prey.
Exactly, and each of those Germans, each move he does has such impact, and it matters so much that I don't care that he's, got the John Cena 5 moves of doom or whatever the fuck you want to call it. He doesn't have a huge repertoire. Because he makes the moves that he does have fucking matter.
Well, and he's legit terrifying.
Yeah, man.
Like, when you get into the ring with him, like, if you are his opponent, you're going to get, like, banged up really bad. Like, oh, I'm going to be so sore this weekend. You know, he's just terrifying when you see him. And he gets that, you know, he does. He treats them like prey. And he gets this look on his face, almost like he goes into a different place, you know, mentally, and just eats them up. Just tears them apart.
There's a... God damn it, who was it? It was a Joe Rogan stand-up routine, and he has this joke that he tells about Brock Lesnar. And he says that he's not scared so much that Brock Lesnar would fuck him or rape him. He's more scared that Brock Lesnar would use him as a condom to rape something much bigger. And I think that's the perfect... that's an example of any Brock Lesnar match.
As far as the match goes... I thought it was pretty good, even before Rollins came out and cashed in. Like I said, brutal, hard-hitting match. Roman got dominated most of the time, which I think was the way to go with the match. And
but he kept smiling. I
kept
like
smiling
that.
And laughing. And I was, again, on Reddit today. I know, fuck me. And somebody made a good comparison to Tommy Dreamer's ECW days, where Tommy Dreamer was the pretty boy that the crowd hated and he could not get over.
He's hardcore.
Exactly, until he just got his ass kicked so many times. And I think we had a little bit of that last night with Roman kind of smiling and taking his fucking beating. And he didn't go over, just like Dreamer back in the day with his feud with the Raven. He wouldn't go over until, you know, he earned the crowd sympathy. Are we going to get that with Roman? No. Let me choke and burp a little bit. But no, that's not going to happen. Roman's still, you know, kind of going to be the hand-picked guy, I think. I don't think he's going to be the Cena, because you've got Rollins up there. But... he's definitely not getting bumped all the way back down the card or anything.
The match itself, though, was just from at least the first 10 minutes of it was basically just a replay of the Lesnar Cena match where at SummerSlam, where he just destroyed Cena. And then that's at that point is when it started getting to where he was laughing about getting his ass kicked and then it got finally Reigns started getting a little bit of offense in, and
his kicks between the ropes were awesome.
Yeah,
that was legit.
Yeah, and then there was 4 F5s.
Think
3 or 4.
He kicked out of the third one, and I remember being all pissed off because Taker didn't kick out of a third one.
Yeah, that's right. And then it was at the point where they were both laid out on the mat, and I turned to you, and this is where Rollins, and as soon as I didn't get Rollins all the way out, and then his fucking music hit. And
Jeremy squealed. I will say right now, he squealed.
Like a pig. But that was last night in Bret's bed. But, yeah, the whole place fucking exploded at that point.
Blew up.
I was ready for the match to get over. I was ready for Roman to win it, and I wanted to start the "We Want Rollins" chant. I didn't even get that opportunity. I don't care because it was awesome.
Yeah.
First time cashing in the middle of a match.
Yes.
First time at WrestleMania.
Yep.
History. We were there. It was awesome.
It's like those shirts. I was there.
Yep, I was there.
And so the night ends with Rollins standing up on the stage, new champion, and.
Helicoptering the belt above his head.
Yes, like he used to do with the NXT title back in the day. Yeah, and that was another thing. They said first NXT champion to become WWE champion.
Yep.
So,
and I've seen a few comments online about WWE changed course again this year, just like they did last year. I call bullshit. I feel like this was the plan all along. He's had that belt the whole time, or not the belt, the briefcase. He'd been sitting on it, and I mean, if you look at the storyline over the last year, he's been the main event. He's with the Authority. He's essentially, with the absence of Brock, he's been the top heel. And maybe the plan might have been at one point for Reigns to go over Brock, but I don't think that changed because of fan reaction to the Rumble or anything like that. I really feel like...
yeah, if anything, they just re-signed Brock. If anything, they would have just changed their minds and had Brock go over.
Exactly.
So, yeah. That was WrestleMania. So now we are actually about to get in a cab and head on over to the SAP Center for Raw predictions.
Sheamus. Since I thought he'd come back last night and he did not. I guess I should have realized when the Battle Royal was on the pre-show that after they built up the last month with Visionettes for him that it would not be. But tonight, Sheamus is back.
Yeah.
Tonight's pretty much the season premiere. So
exactly. Beffy?
Predictions on what?
What do you think will happen tonight, Raw? Okay, that look it says it all. This is a podcast, though, not a visual medium.
I don't know.
You think that there will be lots of boots?
I hope so.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, Sheamus returns. Do we get a NXT debut tonight?
I think we might, but
Isn't that what that Japanese guy is? Didn't he just...
No,
they kind of did the same thing with, what was it, Bo Dallas a few years ago, where he got into the Rumble, I think it was.
Yeah, it was in the
and he
Rumble.
wasn't on the main roster after that. It was just like, oh, you're in the Rumble,
Well,
now
he
go
had
back
to
NXT.
He had a short little feud with JBL after that.
Was it JBL or was it B&B?
It was Barrett, was it?
It was Barrett.
It was Barrett.
It was Barrett.
Why am I
And
thinking
then he
of
went
JBL?
away, and then he went away,
Yeah,
and
JBL's
came
on
back,
commentary.
and then he went away again.
Yeah, no, but last year was Paige, night after WrestleMania.
Right.
Paige debuted. So I think we get either Finn Balor will debut tonight, or they'll just do another diva this year and have it be Charlotte.
I mean, from what I've read on the, always reliable dirt sheets, I guess they're still don't think Charlotte's ready.
Which is retarded.
Yeah, absolutely.
Charlotte's great.
Yeah, but, I mean, at the same time, they're going to put her out there and they're going to want to wrestle the WWE style, not the NXT style, which seems to be a little more freedom.
Gee, what a concept.
Right? I don't know. I guess I could see it being Finn Balor. I wouldn't bet on it. If anybody, I'd still think it would be Neville, because I think he's been the next in line for a while. I thought it was going to be after he lost his title months ago. Still hasn't happened.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing. I haven't watched NXT for this last week, so I don't know if he's in the middle of a feud right now. I really don't think he is. They kind of had him with Kevin Owens in place of Sami Zayn for a little while.
And then they did Balor.
And then, they did the tournament, didn't they? Right.
Yeah.
And so he's just kind of nowhere right now. So I think it'd be a good chance for
Okay,
him.
so if it is going to be him, is he going to come out as Mighty Mouse?
I hope it's not some stupid fucking Mighty Mouse gimmick, but regardless, it's going to be something stupid. They're going to ruin him. I just feel like
He's too funny
as
looking.
amazing as, he's funny looking. And I think Vince is,
exactly.
going to give him the Christian treatment. He's got a rat face. Like,
Yeah, put a blue dot over his face
Yep.
like they wanted to do with Christian back in the day.
That's probably what's going to happen. One thing I want to go back a little bit, back to Mania, because I forgot to mention it. I feel like, I know this gets thrown out like, oh, so-and-so is the new so-and-so. I feel like Rollins is the new HBK. I feel like he's got that drive.
That's a good
He's got the
comparison.
ambition to be the best. And he fucking stole the show twice last night with the fucking RKO spot and with the end of the show.
Yeah,
And you can see him being good and bad. Like, he could flip-flop between face and heel easily.
Absolutely.
And would get over. Like, it wouldn't matter. People would still love him.
yeah.
Like HBK.
I agree, 100%. But we also have somebody else who I see that in as well, already on the roster, in Ziggler. It's unfortunate that they keep pushing him back down because apparently he has a big mouth, which is funny because Shawn Michaels had a big fucking mouth back in the day.
They're corporate now. I feel like they can't get away with that anymore in the corporate environment. There's so many different levels before you get up to Vince.
But is Ziggler having an interview and saying something that they don't agree with him saying worse than Rollins showing his dick, or having?
One's an accident.
True.
I mean, yeah, I don't think you can really compare the two.
No.
If we're getting dick pics every month, then maybe that's going to be a different story. But one time as an accident, I think that's already blown over. I don't even think that crosses their minds at this point.
All right, so the
I
cock's
think
been
that-
blown over.
Yep.
Really, it's people like Matt Hardy and the shit that he was doing is probably why they're so anti anybody doing anything without their say.
Yeah, going out there and going into business for
Yeah.
yourself on social
Like,
media.
you can't have opinions unless we approve them first, and you can't post on social media and this and that, and it's probably because of people like that, which is why you can't get away with it.
They've had talent meetings before where they're told what not to say on social media.
Yeah. So that might be, I don't know if that's why they're burying him or why they're not pushing him or anything. I think he's amazing.
I think he's amazing. I think he is a hit with WWE crowds. I think Rollins has that crossover appeal. He's, did the whole Daily Show stuff. I guess he was on the Today Show this morning, which I haven't watched yet. But, it's kind of like when, Miz had his run back in 2010 or 11, whenever it was.
Yeah.
He was he was out hitting the media like fucking crazy, which is probably why he had the belt as long as he did. Not saying Ziggler's not willing to do that stuff. I just think Rollins crosses over. He draws more eyes than I think that Ziggler does.
And his name isn't Dolph fucking Ziggler.
Yes, Dolph.
Dolph.
I feel like he's just better at rubbing elbows with guys like Jon Stewart and whatnot, and making those connections that WWE wants their guys to make. That I guess Ziggler just hasn't been able to do. But like I said, they want the guys that are gonna go beyond the WWE crowd, and I think Ziggler can hit 100% of the WWE crowd and just not get too much further beyond that, unfortunately, which is probably why his pushes keep stalling.
Yep. So, quickly back to Raw tonight. Do you think that there's any chance that this show will be better than WrestleMania, like it usually is?
No,
I don't think so either.
No way.
No.
There was too much fan service last night. Daniel Bryan won. Roman Reigns didn't.
They did do really well at like doing what the majority would want to see happen.
They
Usually at any pay-per-view, especially WrestleMania, they do something to piss people off. Like, oh, what the fuck did you blah, and that didn't happen last night. Besides Cena. But everybody knew that was happening. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not like last year where they were riding the wave of Yes-O-Mania and all that enthusiasm carried over into Raw. I don't think it was the year before that, but probably for 28 when the 17-second Daniel Bryan match happened, and Yes-O-Mania really started that night at WrestleMania and carried over into Raw the next day, and the crowd was super rowdy. You don't have that catalyst from last night like you do for those previous years. So I think it's going to be a fun, rowdy show. Everybody's going to be into it. All these people that traveled and spent all their money. It's going to be a less, I think, kid-friendly crowd than last night. But yeah, I don't see any takeovers or anything happening like that. No. So.
All right, so we're about ready to catch a cab and head on over. We'll be back again with our, Raw wrap-up.
Re-up.
I'm sleepy.
Are you? Are you sleepy?
I am. I need you to tuck me in.
This is right before nighttime sexy. I get my bed to myself.
Well, let's turn down the lights before we get into this recap. I am currently sitting on Mr. Bealer's bed.
I got the bed all to myself.
We totally need to pull some covers up over us before we start this, though. Just tug you off a little bit while we're... Okay, anyway.
Covers up,
I
shorts
knew
down.
it.
Wrestleboners.
That's why you guys changed into your shorts.
Speaking of Wrestleboners, what a fucking weekend, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was. Great show yesterday, as we covered before we went to Raw tonight.
Great show tonight.
Great show tonight. Not better than WrestleMania.
Not better than WrestleMania, no, but still
Finally breaking the streak on that one.
Yep.
It was still really good, though.
Oh, it was a great show.
It got me to the point where I'm going to start watching Raw now.
Are you?
Yes.
For another couple weeks until it starts sucking again.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, exactly.
But I am going to watch it now.
Well, she kind of passively watches it because Monday nights she gets off work, we watch Better Call Saul, and then she plays EQ while I fast forward through Raw, basically.
Yeah.
So you're gonna watch it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna hold you to this.
I mean, I may not sit there with popcorn just staring at the screen, but I'm gonna actually pay attention to the shit that's going on in the ring now.
Yeah, as you should.
Yeah.
Wrestling's awesome. All right, so start from the top, Mr. Bealer.
So we started off with Brock Lesnar right off the bat, him and Heyman coming down. Brock clearly pissed off about the result of Mania last night. I can't remember everything that Heyman said, but we started a Suplex City chant, and he corrected us. It's Suplex City, bitch.
Yeah. Brock coming out in his gear.
His fight gear.
I was like, oh, shit, son.
Yeah.
Yep.
The place blew up. For that to be the start, everybody went nuts when they heard his music and then saw him, the cuts on his head and in his fight gear. We're like, oh, shit's going down.
Well, he hasn't wrestled on Raw since 2002 and SmackDown since 2004. So
yeah,
we thought we were in for a treat tonight.
Unfortunately, that wouldn't come to pass, but hey, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
So during the course of Heyman's promo, Bethany looked over at me and she's like, "So when we get a divorce, I'm totally hiring Heyman to be my lawyer.
Yes. I mean it.
You better be ready to hire Heyman's dad.
I'm just saying, like, if she even just gets Heyman himself, I'm fucked. She might as well hire Brock Lesnar to be the one to, like, divide our assets.
Trial by combat.
Be like fucking last season of Game of Thrones. Crush my fucking skull.
He's like probably one of the best mouthpieces that wrestling
Ever.
has right now.
Oh, ever.
Ever, is it?
Ever.
Okay, so I'm not marking out too hard then.
Nope.
No.
Okay, good. Because I've always, like, he has always intrigued me, you know, when he was with CM Punk and and I loved CM Punk. Like, anytime he was on, I'd stop what I was doing and watch anyway, but...
Kind of like our old silence. We chat during Raw, chat.
Yes.
CM Punk's on, everybody shut up.
Yes.
Punk's on. Quiet. Yep.
And Heyman was a huge part of that. I mean, CM Punk was amazing on the mic too. So he didn't always need it, but, you know, Heyman has just always been so good. He gets you wrapped up in what he's saying. And I don't know all the words, but that whole Brock Lesnar, or he doesn't even say, you know, he's like...
the reigning, defending.
Yes. Yeah, that thing. All I know is Brock Lesnar.
That was actually pretty good.
I've been practicing.
Walking around town.
Yeah.
Brushing his Brock.
While Jeremy and Bret are walking around asking about trannies in front of strangers.
Asking? No, there's no asking.
Demanding.
Yes.
I'm using my Paul Heyman voice on strangers. Can you tell me where to find Brock Lesnar?
And some trannies.
And some trannies. I'm asking for a friend.
I'm the friend.
So back to where we were. They came out and they were, you know, giving their speech and all. Stephanie came out and we booed the fuck out of her.
Yeah.
That place exploded in a giant boo. Like, I think it was synchronized. Just, you know, all 20,000 of us boo.
Yeah.
And then she scolded us like children and told us we would not get the match that night, the rematch for the heavyweight title between Brock and Rollins, if we didn't shut up.
Which was good.
I know, and we all shut up.
Is she a mom?
Yes.
She
Two.
can tell.
Yep.
I was like, if she's not a
Mom
mom,
voice.
he needs to, like, impregnate her immediately.
I think in spirit, she's all of our mothers.
Yeah. She's good.
Yep. So yes, they set up the match.
Yep.
At that point.
They set up the match, and we were stoked. I mean, obviously, you know, we're a little reserved. We know it's a possibility that it might not happen, but we're wide-eyed and hopeful. After that, we got the awesome Dolph Ziggler, Daniel Bryan match.
Yes, match. The first of two great fucking matches on the show.
Yep. And we were both kind of expecting Dolph to possibly turn, despite the fact that Bad News Barrett was at ringside. And he was kind of heelish during that match. I still think it's a possibility.
He played the
down
heel,
line.
as far as the ring work was, but
It was a good match.
it was very good.
It was a lot of submission type thingies, or like, you know, real wrestling.
Yeah. There's a little bit of chain in there. There's a lot of Dolph, like, that's where it started out, is like he was throwing like punches. It wasn't like a wrestling match. It was like within the first minute, he's like, trying to pound Bryan's face in.
And then we got the awesome headbutt spot at the end where they were just headbutting each other.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Didn't they do it last night at the ladder match?
They did. They did it
On
yesterday
top of the
at the top
ladder?
of the ladder.
Did they?
Yeah.
Yeah, bam, 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 bam.
They
with their
did. They
heads.
did.
So they did it again tonight.
It was almost like they were hugging with their faces.
Yeah. Well, it's
Maybe they're just
kind
pecking.
of like, you know, a couple of billy goats up there just headbutting. You guys, it's a podcast. You can't nod. Faggots.
Nod. Asterisk, nod, asterisk. Anyway, Bryan ended up winning that match. Barrett ran in and hit Barrett from behind. Sets up for a bullhammer on Ziggler, but Sheamus comes running out, making his triumphant return.
His
Looking like
flashy
Zoidberg.
return.
With his fire crotch mohawk on his head and his braided little beard. And like we were expecting, heel turn.
Yep.
Destroyed Ziggler, destroyed Bryan. And we gotta give him the good old "you look stupid" chant, which was awesome.
Yeah.
The first
so
of
funny.
many great chants of the night.
I didn't think he looked stupid though.
No, but it was fun to say.
It was definitely fun to say.
I felt bad for him.
It freshened up his look, and he needed that.
Yeah.
I'm on the fence with his beard. I love the mohawk. I love mohawks in general. But I'm on the fence with the beard. Like, part of it for me was like, oh, it's kind of tribal and it's kind of like, earthy feeling or whatever. And it kind of brings a primal type feel to it. And then I'm like, but it's Sheamus. And so
He's
really
supposed to be the Celtic warrior. So
Yeah.
I think it kind of fits, and it's okay because it gives
If
us
he's
such a
going to
safe
rebrand
story.
himself, then, or his image at least, then I think that it's a good call.
And he can't tan, so...
Yeah.
Apparently we can't
We
either.
can't either.
We're all fucking rock lobsters over here, so... After that, we got the pretty awesome 4-way tag, which was Lucha Dragons, the New Day, or I guess, no, it wasn't 4-man, it wasn't. It was...
8-man.
8-man, yes. I meant 14.
What was the thing? New Day Sucks? Is that what it was?
Yeah, New Day sucks.
Yeah.
New
then-
Day sucks.
Cesaro and Tyson Kidd and the Ascension were in that match. This was pretty much just, like you said during the show, to showcase Kalisto. Kalisto kicked ass that match.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, that awesome spot where he jumped up on Cesaro's chest and did the backflip,
Yep.
which I think we'll see
That was
happen
amazing.
again into an uppercut, which will be pretty sweet, and even further down the line, an RKO out of nowhere. So keep it in mind.
And so he's replacing Rey Mysterio then, I
Basically.
guess? Because I need a little Mucha Lucha. Like,
Yeah.
I told Jeremy, I was like, I love Rey, he's my little Mucha Lucha, and I just have to have Ben is
Mexicana.
Mexican. Well, Ben is half Mexican, and so I just like a part of my heartstrings, goes that area, goes that way. And I was at the show when Rey Mysterio's daughter, CM Punk sang to Rey Mysterio's daughter
she was
happy
there.
birthday.
Happy birthday.
I was at that show, so like I've always just kind of had a little tender spot. And then he said that his contract was expired or whatever, and I was like, that sucks. But this guy,
Kalisto.
I'm really intrigued.
Yeah, he was Samurai Del Sol on the Indies before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He is awesome. He had this spot a couple months back on NXT that I still have in my head, where, normally they do like the front handspring into the ropes and they bounce back. He did it with no hands. He just basically did a flip into the ropes and bounced off and landed back.
Yeah.
on his
Like
feet.
rolled it or
No,
He never hit the ground. He did a flip into the ropes.
He like
Holy
bounced back and
shit.
landed on his feet.
Do you guys have to show me that video when we're done?
Will do.
If you can find
I'll find it for sure.
That's awesome. Yeah, I like him a lot.
Yeah, I like him too. I mean, him and Sin Cara have been doing their thing as NXT tag champs for a while. They're not anymore. Lost it to a couple of who the fuck can remember their name guys? Murphy, Brad, something or other.
Buddy Murphy and something else.
Yeah, exactly. But they were tearing it up for a while, so it's good to see them on the main roster. So, glad they gave that little chance for Kalisto to, show what he can do and get hyped for the crowd. And I think the crowd received him very well. I don't think we had any, other than New Day Sucks, any amazing chants during that match.
No, the good chance came later.
Yeah. After that, little backstage statement where Paul Heyman gets the word that Seth Rollins has arrived, and so him and Brock immediately head for the ring to get out there.
And apparently, Seth Rollins, he flies in his ring gear.
Yes.
I know.
So Rollins gets out there, says that he's talked with Stephanie, and he's just feeling a bit too jet lagged to fight tonight. And that his foot hurts from all the curb stomps that he delivered. But he's a fighting champion, but not tonight. Brock chases him down, didn't let him get away for a little bit, which is pretty great. He kept just, almost getting over the barricade, and Brock no.
The first time he grabbed him, he tossed him. I thought he fucking killed him on the outside there.
I know.
He threw him down so hard
Threw him.
on the outside of the ring.
And we kind of, I guess it wasn't really Suplex City. There was probably a few suplexes in there, but maybe Suplexburg.
All Suplexburg.
But it was pretty awesome. He was just kind of destroying everybody. We all popped pretty hard when he murdered Michael Cole.
Yes.
Left his shoe in the ring.
R.I.P. Michael Cole.
Rest in
And knocked over the table that they then picked up and then knocked back over. Just
and
for
then
the
they
rest of the
Byron
show.
Saxton hide under. Yeah. And apparently, from what I was reading, I guess he sounded pretty emotionless and flat for the rest of the broadcast. But it was supposed to kind of be like he was terrified that his colleagues had just been destroyed.
So he was legit, like, he was supposed to be hiding behind the table.
I don't know if he was supposed to be hiding, but I mean, a few times we like, where the fuck did he go?
Yeah.
And then he'd be there, and I remember watching, and I remember just kind of like sinking back down, almost like reverse Steph coming up with a sledgehammer, but the other way around. And we're like, is he just like making a fort under there or something? He's got his little blankets going on and everything, his nightlight. And then they brought King down in the middle of the match. Maybe it came across better on TV. I think it was a little later on, but it was just awkward.
It was really awkward. It was like, and they, in the ring, they held, I think it was Orton and, God. No,
that was at the...
No, but, no, that's when they brought Lawler out.
It wasn't the main event. It was only, like...
No, that's right.
First
No, I don't
hour.
remember who it was, but they just, like, stayed in one move. I think it was the Cena match. It was the Cena match.
I think it was.
Yeah.
And they were in one move, and they just sat there so that Jerry could walk down. But there was no music. There was no, like...
I'm thinking it had to be during
calling
commercial.
attention to it. Yeah, maybe it was because
just...
all of us were just kind of like, oh, it's Lawler, yay! And then, but there was no attention called to it whatsoever.
And then he went and joined Byron in his little
And then they just
table fort.
They stood there for a long time. People finally got them chairs so they could sit.
Vince was probably enjoying it backstage.
Oh, I think that maybe that's why they sent Lawler out when they did, is because Vince is like, oh my god, this guy sucks.
Yeah.
Where's that guy who wears the crown? Put him out there. You know, the guy took off Raw and put on the other show we have. What's it called again? SmackDown, that's right. I don't watch this shit. I don't know.
Next match was Stardust versus Damien Should Not Still Be Ms. Dow.
I actually thought about that.
Okay.
I think that they kind of have to keep him being Miz Dow until the end of the Miz feud.
Yeah.
It's just so they can bill it Miz versus Miz Dow.
Yeah, you're right, but it's still annoying because it's like you guys split last night. It's done. It's over.
You know
yeah,
what
he came
probably happened? He probably already just like recently bought all of his like Ms. Dow Speedos and socks and shoes, and he's like, "Fuck you! I just spent $800 on my gear.
Well, even like
I am
his
not
Titan
rebranding."
Exactly, I was
His
gonna say
Tron
that.
is
Yeah.
Ms. Dow, and it's all Miz stuff. But hey, whatever. I mean, obviously nothing special to the match. It was just out there so that Miz could come down and interrupt it and hit the skull crushing finale.
I like in part of the match, everybody when they were yelling Cody, like he a lot, and no spoilers for later, but Orton does the same. Presley, Orton does it later, but Cody responded to the chants.
It's kind of been his gimmick lately.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah,
I
it's good.
dig it. Where
It's
he's
good.
like, it's like it's in his head or whatever, and I mean he didn't do it too much, but it was awesome that he did it at all. Because most wrestlers tend to just try and ignore everybody. And I think that the more you try and integrate it and make it interactive, the more people are going to really have fun.
Yeah, I really wish he would just go back to being Cody now. There's no reason for him to be Stardust.
What's with this Queen of Hearts cape
I
that
don't-
he's got going?
Who knows? I'm not even going to talk about his cape. But yeah, it was the former Rhodes Scholars in the ring together. I thought that was kind of cool.
You're welcome. Next we had Curtis Axel, Adrian Neville's debut.
No,
against
Neville.
him. Nope. Oh, sorry. My phone says Adrian. No Adrian. Axe it. It's gone. Just like Big E is just Big E. No more Langston. He's gone. Does not exist. Anyway, Axel gets squashed like he has been. It's kind of strange. I guess it's just, the thing they do. Oh, you're getting over and you shouldn't be? Well, we'll keep you on TV for that, but you're never going to win.
Yeah, he's a comedy jobber.
Yeah.
Well, okay, yeah, and can I ask a question to you guys on this? Because I don't know anything about his Curtis Axel, right?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about him, but except his name. But he's obviously, he's taking Hulk's gimmick, right?
He's Mr. Perfect's son.
Yeah. He used to be Michael McGillicuddy.
Oh. Okay, well, so Mr. Perfect is a wrestler.
Casual.
A dead wrestler.
I know.
yes.
I apologize.
Yes,
Oh,
Mr. Perfect's a dead wrestler, yes.
Okay, but what I mean is that I didn't see a lot, and maybe just because I'm not into as many technical moves or anything like that in the ring as you guys are, but I didn't see a lot of ring work from him
He's getting
could
squashed.
point out.
Yeah, oh yeah, he was
because
just
he's getting squashed.
He was
Okay.
just there. That's why they picked him for that spot.
Oh,
He was there because this is Neville's debut. Neville needs to look strong,
Okay.
and so
Because I don't recall too much from last night either, like when he was in the Royal, or the Battle
Because he was first
Battle
one out.
Royal.
it was first one
Okay.
out, and that was the reason why they did that was because of the whole gimmick coming out of the Royal Rumble where he never got eliminated, and so
He was coming down the ramp, and what was it, Harper or Rowan, one of the two?
yeah, it
Basically
was Rowan.
hit him from behind and took his spot in the Rumble. So since then, he's been kind of running with, I was never eliminated, Axelmania.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I should pay attention to shit that
Yeah,
happened
you should.
before.
You should pay attention to the show leading up to going to fucking
should.
WrestleMania.
I know I should. Okay, well, no, because he's got the Hulkamania gimmick thing
Yes.
going on. It's not even his. No. And I haven't even gotten a chance to see him wrestle. Then basically, but like, is he good? I mean, is he worth basically
He's
the crowd favor that he
serviceable.
has?
Serviceable is perfect.
He's serviceable. He's not in the league of his dad.
But I mean, he, like, the response that he got yesterday, yeah, but I mean, especially tonight, like, everybody was just so happy
it's the
to
gimmick.
see him and everything.
It's the smart reaction. It's, oh, you suck,
Okay.
so we're going to cheer you.
Okay.
It's
It
kind
just-
of
it-
what
I guess that
is.
makes more
yeah.
sense. Because I was like, it's not even, I mean, you're stealing Hulk's shit. So, like,
Well,
why?
and then the reason why he's doing that is it goes back to the Rumble and him never being eliminated. So he feels that he should be in the title match because he was never eliminated from the Rumble. And so
that was something that kind of grew online too. I mean, that was an internet thing. Everybody hopped onto that. Axel was never eliminated.
Yeah.
And this day and age,
ran with
obviously, that gets back to him, and he ran with it.
yeah.
Okay. So, has he ever been anything more than just a comedy type?
Oh, he used to be a
He was a tag team with
quote-unquote-
Ryback.
Yeah, Ryback.
Ryback Axel, yes.
He was in the Nexus, the new Nexus with CM Punk as leader.
For a day.
It was a little while. He was Michael McGillicuddy. He was just kind of there.
Okay, well, I apologize for wasting
Intercontinental
so much
champion.
time on this.
He keeps essentially getting half pushes to see if he can carry the other half the rest of the way, and he just hasn't been able to put the pieces together. He's kind of getting there
Okay.
now,
Well,
though. He's getting that.
He's kind of like with Cesaro, where they don't really give him a chance.
I love Cesaro.
But at the same time, he's not the same level of talent as Cesaro, so it's not as much of a crime.
You know who is at the same level of talent, if not more? Neville.
Yes.
Talking too much about Curtis Axel.
Yeah, I know.
I know, I'm so sorry.
Go back to Neville.
Everybody listening is like, just take that bitch and pause this, give her a background, and then hit play.
We'll edit in a spot.
I think they were just saying, get this bitch off the show.
No.
Anyway, I mean, it wasn't anything special. He pretty much hit all of his.
Yeah, he hit his
major
moves.
His major moves.
His spots.
that
He
hits.
did the backflips and.
Was he the guy that you paused
front
and replayed for me that one time?
I showed you. It was actually before he debuted on NXT. I showed you like a highlight reel of his from when he was Pac.
Okay.
Like all of his like flippity doos, and you're like, oh my god,
Flippy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, he does all the flippy stuff, which I'm really into anyway. Like,
He
that's
does
why, like, Hardy. Like, love Jeff Hardy.
Jeff Hardy.
Jeff Hardy does more of the falling shit.
He does
he
a lot of the
falls.
falling shit. He does some flippies, but I love...
he's a stunt guy.
Yeah, but yeah, do I like stunt guys then, do you think?
Do you like spot monkeys?
I don't know what a spot monkey is.
Do you like Jeff
It's a
Hardy?
monkey with spots.
Yes. I love Jeff Hardy.
All right, there you go.
But anyway, I mean, yeah, it's pretty good.
He had a really good response.
I'm glad he's on the main roster.
And he has a fucking
I mean,
cape.
we were in a super smart crowd. Everybody was waiting for him to come out. We were chanting NXT all night.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't like the cape. I'm not into capes. And I
purple
guess
thingy?
that's the quote,
the
the Mighty
Mouse.
Mouse part of his character that they said.
So this is the guy you guys were talking about that has a weird nose?
It's his ears.
Yeah.
He has a weird
Weird
face.
looking all around.
Really?
And
I
he's
guess he was
got
too far away.
a thick ass accent, and it's
He's crazy smooth in the ring. He's amazing in the
Yeah.
ring. Like, you've never seen the guy before and you look at him,
you're probably going to change the channel. But if you stick around and you watch, you'll be hooked because he's amazing. That amazing.
Well, yeah.
I cannot even fathom how somebody can make their bodies move in the way that he does.
Yeah.
I mean, he basically took a shooting star press and threw in a fucking corkscrew. Yeah. So that alone is pretty awesome. Moving on. Next, we finally got to the John Cena sucks match, which has been the theme song for this whole weekend. I think every time we've been walking around in a crowd, people are singing it
John
constantly.
Cena sucks.
I need trannies.
We even sang last night, hour and a half walking around. I need a cab.
John Cena's dad. We'll get to that.
Anyway, open challenge for his newly won United States Championship. I think we were expecting a return of some sorts, even if it was somebody, who's not on the main roster anymore. But we got Ambrose, which is fine. I love Ambrose. And they put on a hell of a match.
Oh my God, they did.
Great match.
It's surprisingly a John Cena match outshone Ziggler and Bryan.
Yep. Best match of the night.
It was, how many AAs did Dean counter before?
We're like, this is going to be the one. He's not going to counter this one.
5 times. Several. Slipping away. Yeah. It was a great match. Cena's promo, even at the beginning of the match when he came out and was joking around about all of us being musicians.
Yeah, singing.
Pretty good because we were singing. Because the crowds, as much as we hate John Cena, it's fun to boo him. At this point.
Well, and I told Jeremy at the show, I said, what I think is really great about this is that through, and if it is a marketing and whatever ploy of the WWE, it's genius and organic. But I love the fact that Cena has taken this good boy image and they've overplayed it and outplayed it so much, like I said yesterday, to the point where so many people are tired of it, and now he's running with it and he's fucking trolling everybody.
Well, that's what I've been saying in the group here and there, is he's essentially a meta heel at this point.
Yeah, he totally is.
He's a face for, the kids and women that love him, but all of us, internet wrestling community fans and the smarks and everything that hate him so much, they know we hate him, so they're going to play on that. So, he's a total meta heel.
I love it.
Well, he's basically like Bo Dallas. Before he actually went...
I would say Bo Dallas, I know you've said it before, is essentially a parody of Cena.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they know. And they run with it, and... just the thing I hate, and I'm sure they know we hate it, is when he takes our valid criticisms, or I guess, John Cena sucks is not exactly the most intellectual argument, but the fact that we can throw that out there and be like, you suck, and he's like, oh, well, I'm champion, I won my match. It's like taking a non-kayfabe criticism and coming up with a kayfabe excuse for it. Yeah. It fucking grinds my gears.
Does it, Peter?
It does.
But that's a total heel thing. So he's working you then.
I know.
Because that's a total heel thing to do. That's what heels do all the time.
Absolutely.
They take,
and that's
what did you say, kayfabe and non-kayfabe, right? And so they do it all the time.
It's true.
Like, your foot does not fucking hurt from curb stomping people all night. Are you kidding me? No, bitch.
And that's why I'm at the point where I overcame my hatred of John Cena years ago. He's not going anywhere. It's time to get over it and accept it. And like I said, I can have fun booing the guy. So I don't mind him being on my TV or in my arena.
Like I love that. Like even before the show started, before the Superstars taping at the beginning, people were already doing that. John Cena sucks, just to amuse themselves.
Yeah,
it's just a thing that people do.
It's fun.
Yeah,
it's fun.
And I will have to say that after tonight, I'm not going to mind him coming out. It used to the point of me like grinding my teeth and just like rolling my eyes, to the point of getting headaches and like, oh my God, Cena's on. Like, well, I'm not going to feel that way anymore. Like, because it's kind of fun to see the way he reacts to it all.
Well, and I think the point where we really get fed up is when he's in the main event constantly.
Yeah.
And he has a belt for a long period of time.
Yep.
And he's not there right now. And there was like that year-long period, I think, in between the Rock feuds where it was just like, I think it was 2012, maybe?
Yeah, somewhere
It was just like...
always running out with the fucking
Cena's
belt.
worst year. And it was his best year from my point of view. Like, I didn't mind him as much. Like... But
and we just had 2 WrestleManias in a row without him being in the main event.
Yep.
So,
all right, moving on.
next thing after that, Renee Young backstage with Seth Rollins asking about Brock Lesnar's suspension. Blah, 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 blah. You know, just says his normal Seth Rollins-y stuff. And Kane and Big Show come out, and so did Orton, I think, and they're talking about having a match at the end of the night. And he tells Orton, well, you don't have very many friends left, but you got till the end of the night to find 2 partners. So setting up the 6-man tag with Rollins, Kane, and Big Show versus Orton and whoever he can find.
Which is probably the worst thing they could have done.
Yeah, I mean, they gave us an epic night right up to the main event, which we'll get to, which was just your standard Raw fare. 6-man tag. Ooh, that's so unique.
They should have, ended with the Cena match or something like that. Something that people can get into and invested in. People were just ready to shit on this match. Yeah, they didn't care who was in it.
Before we get that far, though, next match was the Divas match.
Long.
It was a long match.
It was a long match.
The chants, though.
The chants, I mean, I wasn't even paying attention to the match. I was just talking about the chants. Yeah. You know, I've read some reactions online, and people were shitting on the crowd for the "You suck Cena, you suck Bryan, you suck Uso, you suck Tyson," all the chants directed. Who cares? I mean, I saw some other comment. You know, there was just, a month ago, AJ Lee made a comment to the Bellas that talent is not a sexually transmitted disease, or something along those lines. Yeah. So, it's okay for them to make comments like that towards each other.
Right.
But if a crowd, is having a little fun, then suddenly, we all suck and we're horrible people.
Yeah. Best part of this, though, is the crowd trying to start the CM Punk chant, and then they got booed.
Yep.
They shut the fuck down, and then it was replaced with an AJ Lee chant.
Which is great.
Yeah.
Yes, it's exactly
really
what
awesome.
should be happening. Any time they start that fucking chant, it needs to be booed.
And it happened twice.
The second time it
lasted longer.
But not very
long. But not very long. But yeah, it was good. You know what? There was some fun stuff that happened in the ring too. They were hitting each other really hard.
Well, it's mainly Paige.
Paige and one of the Bella twins. I can't tell them apart, but there's a fat one apparently. But
she's the ugly one.
The ugly one.
The ugly.
But Paige took her and smacked her and rolled between the ropes and onto the floor.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Kind of tackled her out.
Yeah, outside. And that was a hard hit on the ground. That was fun.
Yeah. But, I mean, I think the chants were what made that match, at least
even from the very beginning, because everybody thought that Bayley was going to be the third person because AJ was wearing the Bayley shirt.
Yep.
But,
yeah. So, she was then.
If people want to shit on us for the "you suck whoever's dick" chants, whatever, because we booed down the CM Punk chant and replaced it with the AJ Lee chant, and we were given we were doing the "Let's Go Divas" chant. We were just having some fun.
Yeah. Bellas go home and
yeah. The Bellas suck.
So basically, we're feminists.
Yes, of course.
Oh, is this what feminism is?
Yes, in WWE, this is what feminism is.
I thought it was pretty interesting that Naomi got the pin at the end there. I thought the heels were going to take that match and the Bellas would get a little revenge for last night.
Yeah, you guys totally tried to call that and say that the Bellas were going to get it.
Yeah, I mean, it would make sense. I mean, you've got the Divas champ and you're going to have her lose, essentially the 2 biggest shows of the year.
I guess they feel it because it's not
a singles match. You guys are both fat.
Sure.
Get out. You're not winning any more matches.
After that, we got another squash match, Goldust versus Rusev.
Which is not really even worth talking about.
Yeah. Other than the fact that, I mean, I didn't notice it before last night in the Cena match, but he started doing the stomp to the small of the back.
He's actually been doing that for a while.
Okay. It's the first time I've noticed it, but I think it's a nice little touch.
Usually he does it because it makes them kind of jump up, and he's easy to grab onto their arms and put them into the accolade.
I liked it.
It wasn't a bad match. It just didn't. There wasn't a lot that stood out. It was quick.
Don't get it twisted. I like that.
No Lana is the one thing that stood out in that fucking match.
No Lana.
Yeah, we want Lana.
Does he always wrestle in those socks without toes?
Yeah, they're ankle wraps.
Yeah, that's pretty rad. I like that.
Almost like boots, but not quite.
Of course, it's on a foot, so you're like, yes!
It's like the first thing I look at on wrestlers.
What the fuck are they doing with Goldust?
Burying him?
No, he's not being buried.
He seemed like he was going for his retirement run here. They built up him and Cody, and that just kind of...
Yeah,
Even
what
out.
happened with that? Because
Well, they had one
Didn't
bad
they have
match.
a blow off on Raw or something? I don't even think it was at the pay-per-view.
No, it was at the pay-per-view.
Was it at-
Yeah, it was at Fastlane.
Fastlane.
They had the one match. It was nothing right home about, and then that was it.
So
they haven't even really done anything with it ever since.
Nope. They just completely dropped it. So
Really weird.
Stardust is stuck with that gimmick, and Goldust is just jobbing, I guess.
Or
Stardust is like, I'm always going to be Stardust.
well, he's got more like it's pretty much the most exposure that Cody's had.
Yeah,
really on
that's
his
true.
own.
He's been
Like,
around a long time now, though.
he has, but he hasn't
Can he-
really had like anything like break out. I mean, his pedo stash was more over than
Cody's
he was.
mustache.
At
Well,
one
and when
point.
he was playing fucking Phantom of the Opera there for a while, when
Yeah,
his
yeah.
nose was broken.
Yeah.
I'm still mad about Sandow betraying him to get the briefcase.
Are you?
That ended up going nowhere because he cashed it in on Cena. When Cena had one arm and still fucking squashed him.
Yeah.
Because
Does it.
Cena.
And that was the start of the D-push of Sandow.
But hey, look where he is now. He's mimicking the Miz.
He's not a former heavyweight champ, if that's what you mean. After that, we got to the main event, and holy fuck are the boos loud for Roman Reigns. And, you know,
Yeah.
I was booing him last night at Mania.
You
I
hate
was-
him tonight.
I did. I cheered him tonight. But I remember
Well-
last night I remember just booing him and you just glaring at me and your lips getting
Yep.
all pursed. And I'm like, what are we going to do?
He did
And-
the old man face to you. That's what he does to me. He purses his lips and glares.
But it's like you said tonight, and it's like we both said before. Booing the push, not the man.
Yeah.
And so tonight he came out, I was ready to cheer him. Nobody else really was.
No, we were the only people cheering.
Those boos were deafening.
They were so loud.
I feel so bad for him because, I mean, especially after he lost last night, you'd think that would have gone away. And maybe it will after this, you know, international smart post-Wrestlemania Raw crowd. I hope it does, because if not, I mean, like you said, unless they turn him heel, I feel like his career is completely ruined at this point.
Well, and I don't know if this had anything. I don't know if this was planned or how it'll go because I don't know enough about the community or you know, fan push and how much it plays in a WWE. But I did notice, like, he's been booed for a while, and the boos were horrible tonight, and they didn't even announce him. Like, they showed, you know, in the backstage, like, fucking Ryback. Don't give him a talking piece ever. So, like, scripted and just like, you know, I like to eat the authority. Whatever he said, it was fucking retarded. And so you're like, okay, cool. They're pairing up, obviously. And then they never announced Orton's, you know, second
But we
partner.
knew where it was
Everybody
going.
knew it was going to be Roman Reigns. And he runs out. The boos were deafening. And the entire match was fucking boring. Like, to the point where people did the waves.
6-man tag. Yeah, we got
Well,
the wave going.
And it's not so much that the fans didn't give the match even a chance because
Yeah.
they were going to shit on it. Like they
were gonna shit on it from
They
the
knew
get-go.
what was going to happen, and so they're like, okay, so this is the point where we're just going to shit on the rest of the show.
Well, to be
But-
fair, the match started with Kane getting beat down for 5 minutes.
Yeah,
That's-
it was boring as hell. But then, like, you know what it was that made everybody stop doing the wave? The wave lasted for like 5 fucking minutes.
yeah, it was pretty
Longest ass wave I've ever done. I'm like, bitches, I'm not doing squats. Like, I'm doing squats right now. I'm exercising, doing the wave. And, but what stopped it was Roman Reigns. He got tagged, not tagged, but he went in there and I missed the move because I was too busy waiting for my spot on the wave.
cool. Probably a
And then
punch or a spear. I'm
probably
guessing.
something. And then I look, and then he just like fucking went crazy and did like 3 more moves. And I was like, oh shit. Like, he actually brought more, in my opinion, maybe just because I'm casual and don't watch often enough, but, you know, my squirrel brain looked at it and I was like, ooh, look, something interesting is happening. Like, I think that he has so much potential and he has so much, like, I don't know why people are booing him.
It's because he took Daniel Bryan's spot. He didn't really take Daniel Bryan's spot. But
was
that's,
given.
That's what everybody wanted Daniel Bryan's spot to be. And it's WWE's fault completely. Like I said, I was booing the push, not the man. I like Roman Reigns. I'm a fan. I still think he's kind of green. He has a lot to work on. And he, in my opinion, was not ready to headline WrestleMania. But at the same time, I mean, that's over with. He's done. He lost the match. It's not
Yeah.
there anymore. I think people need to
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, they need to shut
Stop
the fuck up and give
booing
them a chance.
them.
And, you know, maybe this makes me, you know, ultra sexist, male chauvinist pig, but I thought the worst chant of the night over the "You Suck Cena" was the worse than Cena chants that
Yes.
I mean, you and me both kind of looked at each other like, oh, that's low.
Oh, there are a lot of people in our section did that. A lot of people when they heard it, because we were, you know, it was like a horseshoe style, and it was the other directly across from us is who was starting most of the chants, and it started there, and it kind of did this ripple effect. By the time it got to us, we just sat here, and a lot of people in our section were like, oh, and you know, and little chuckles. Yeah.
Oh,
like,
no, they didn't.
Yeah, none of us wanted to repeat it. Like, we're like, nah, bro, that ain't me. I'm not saying that.
So in my opinion, that was the worst chant of the night.
It
But
was.
we started the best chant of the
Yes.
night.
Yes.
For.
Yeah, never have I started a chant at a wrestling show, and it was your idea.
Oh my god, you guys marked out like bags, by the way. It was so funny to see your guys' reactions, like looking at kids on Christmas when they open up their favorite present.
They started a chant. They caught on.
Yes.
Yay!
Yes. And the chant was?
Please retire to the Big Show.
Please retire.
The whole match, they were just like, fucking come on, tag in Big Show so we can chant. The whole time, that's all
it's
I
actually
heard.
fucked up because we could have done it earlier in the match when Kane was in there.
Yeah, that's true. It would have worked that too.
But
I
at that
like
point,
Kane
it's
more than Big Show.
they both need to fucking go
They
away.
both do need to go away.
I'm so done with Kane,
But-
especially fucking corporate Kane.
Corporate Kane
Yeah,
was
God.
annoying.
He's just kind of there. Big Show, they're actually like give him the mic sometimes, and you know.
Still,
Big
they
Show.
both. There's no reason in 2015 that either of them should be in the fucking ring. It was 20 years ago. 20 years ago that Kane first came into the WWE as Isaac Yankem. 20 fucking years.
It's a long time to be doing dentistry.
It is. Well, he fell out of practice.
On the side.
He fell out of practice. Along the
What
way.
the hell?
Well, and
Rubbed
then-
elbows with the devil.
And now he's a wrestler.
But, along the way, he was a Christmas creature and a parody of Kevin Nash. But, yeah, both guys just need to get the fuck out. And Big Show, he debuted the same fucking year in WCW. 20 years, they've done their thing. They're both way past their prime. Just stop.
I agree. They need to give the spot to somebody else, but at the same time, I don't mind Kane. I mean, yes, corporate Kane, this gimmick that he's in right now sucks. But I remember a few years ago when he got his last WHC run, I thought that was actually pretty good. He was fucking nailing it on the mic at the time. And then when he was tagging with Bryan as part of Hell No. Obviously, he's with
Yeah,
Bryan,
that
so he's
was
kind of getting the
adorable.
rub. But at the same time, he still played the part well. So
Whoever thought you'd hear that? That Brian was giving someone the rub.
other than the fact that somebody else could be in that spot that deserves it, I don't mind Kane being there. Big Show is boring me. He's always been fucking boring to me. The one time that I did not mind Big Show was actually when he had a match with Kane, and the crowd was completely ready to shit on it, and they turned it out a technical masterpiece, and they were chain wrestling like crazy, and everybody was just kind of like, what the fuck is going on? And not to say I've hated Big Show the entire time or whatever. He's just, I've never been that entertained. He's a spectacle.
Yeah.
Ooh, cool, look, he's giant. Now,
I love
let me
Big Show.
see somebody who can put on a good wrestling match.
I will say that I don't obviously pay attention to like in-ring moves. So like when it comes to the actual match, there unless it's like amazing flippy floppy whatever's, I get kind of bored easy.
You just don't
But
like it when
Big
Big Show
Show-
cries.
No, but yeah, like Big Show, like when it's when he gets those big ass grins on his face and he's like,
Well,
when he was Big Show, and he's like,
and guess
I was
what?
fucking up, big old grin.
Give it a week. Give it a week. He'll be a face
He'll be
again.
face again. I know, he
and
flip
you'll-
flops so much, and I'll be like, oh, Big Show's back. I just want to hug him.
He just needs to have a stroke so he can be half angry.
Oh,
Like a big smelly
Awful.
Two-Face.
no, but yeah, that chant was amazing. And it was kind of, there was a delayed reaction, I think, like the when it traveled. So like, it was just Jeremy and Bret, please retire. Right? And it was just that for like 3-4 runs.
We said it probably like
And then they
3, 4, 5
stopped
times.
after about, 4 or 5,
And
whatever.
then there was like a 2-second
yeah,
delay.
2-3 seconds. It was
and then
It sunk into
a
people's
pregnant
brains.
pause long enough for them to be, all of us to just be like, okay, whatever. We'll just keep watching then. And then those dudes that were starting all the chants
made its way down to them.
did it. And then they got everybody else to do it. They had a guy down there near the floor that was basically cheerleading their section, which was why they started most of the chants. Was this one guy who was standing up, and whatever chants were happening in his section, he would like look at the big, the upper levels, and he was cheerleading him. And so that's what got the whole arena going. And they grabbed your guys' chant, and both of you, like, I am so glad I looked over when it happened because I heard it, immediately looked to my right, and both of you guys, like, squealed like little girls, looked at each other, high-tenned each other, and you're just like, oh my God! Like,
Well, the guy in front of me even turned around and was like, you started that. And we were like, yeah!
No, he said we started that.
Yeah.
I was like, what's this we shit?
Was that guy in front of us?
Yeah.
Oh, he was trying to insert himself into our conversation several times.
No, it wasn't him. It was
Dude next
Next
yeah,
time.
it was like
Yeah.
2 spots over. But yeah.
But that was amazing. And then Egan even said, he was like, you guys started that? He was like, we heard that on TV, which just solidified it for us.
Yes.
Like,
we
when
made
we
it.
read that, like,
Our contracts
you
are
guys
in
did
the mail.
Yay!
IWC World Champions.
Zack Ryder's gonna be pissed.
Good.
And I guess that was the end of Raw, but then there was still
Yes.
there was the Sting interview afterwards,
Yeah.
which most amazing interview ever. Like,
dude.
one whole question,
Yeah,
amazing. Like,
Yeah.
I know. I did like seeing Bo Dallas get choked out, though.
He got the Scorpion Death Drop.
Yeah, I liked that because I can't stand Bo Dallas.
So yeah, I think that definitely confirms that there will be another Sting match.
mm-hmm.
I hope so. Well, I think it confirms it, but it makes me worry that it's not good. I loved the Undertaker chant.
Yep.
That happened twice during the interview.
Yeah, it's happening.
That's what
match is
everybody's
happening.
wanting to see.
You
Who
think
knows
we-
if that's what's going to happen? But
You think we might get a Triple H Sting rematch at, say, SummerSlam or Survivor Series?
I
Maybe
hope
even
they're
the
putting
Rumble?
him on TV more often.
It would make more sense since if that is
I
the
could see-
plan, that would make more sense.
I
if
could
Triple
see
H won.
a Sting captain match against Triple H, and it would actually make sense because that would make one full year from Sting's debut date. He debuted at Survivor Series to help vanquish the Authority for like a day, and so
Thanks, Cena.
yeah, fucking Cena. Like once
I
again,
know.
Just let Edge die.
Oh.
Kayfabe.
Yeah. I think we will get a Sting match at WrestleMania and probably one.
At least one.
Maybe a
thinking-
SummerSlam,
I'm
maybe
thinking,
a Survivor
I'm thinking a
Series.
rematch, and he'll probably go over then. So,
But they're not gonna. I don't know if it will be a rematch. I don't know.
who else? Who else would he fight?
Bo Dallas.
Well, yeah.
Dark match.
I kind of feel like that was
SmackDown
almost
taping.
like a slap to his face when he was like, anything they throw my way, I'll take it. And then who comes out is Bo Dallas. And I'm like, really? You're going to throw him like...
It just seems so weird. They debut Bo Dallas, and he's got this gimmick that I think we kind of like, and we get, parody with Cena, blah, blah, blah. But it didn't really catch on that much.
Not
So
at
he's
all.
been gone for a few months, and then they...
Now he has a cool ass
bring
goatee.
him, yeah, now they bring him back and goatee, but they're still doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And why throw him out there with Sting? Like, I know they're just giving him somebody to hit the Scorpion Death Drop on and make the crowd go yay before they go home. But still, it's awkward. I know Sting's gonna go away and
Wow.
nobody will remember. But
Santino retired. So I'm worried that they're just like trying to fill that
Here,
role.
put the sock on your hand.
Yeah, exactly. Next is the snake that's going to come out.
nope, Fandango's getting the next hand puppet. Dongo.
It's gonna be a dick
Be
puppet.
like little Bruno penis.
And then the last thing of the night you weren't even there for. John Cena's dad
Yep.
Yeah.
outside of the arena.
John Cena's dad.
Get the fuck off, man.
Yeah, everybody was trying to. John Cena's dad was outside the arena. Several fans were trying to get pictures with him, like putting their arm around him to get pictures, and he kept shoving them off. And like they were like, these fans were being fucking dicks.
Yeah.
Running
they were
up to
drunk
him, like
assholes.
stopping them, and then you fucking pull them off again and shove them away, and then he finally was able to escape into the night as the entire front of the building started chanting John Cena's dad at him. I think that was a perfect cap to an awesome fucking Mania weekend.
Yep.
Yep.
That was a blast.
Yeah.
It's sad. It's over.
You're gonna leave me tomorrow, and I'm gonna leave me tomorrow. But you're leaving me first.
Then you guys are gonna have to like fat by yourselves again.
I can't go back to that.
And my hand's not gonna be good enough now.
I left my FAP in Santa Clara.
And quite a bit of semen.
Hey, you checked. You had your little black light.
Well, we need to check again.
You checked when we first got here.
Before and
You guys
after
have
pics. Just wait.
Desecrated this place. You need a fucking exorcism before they let anybody else in here.
All right, Brett, what's your favorite moment of the entire weekend?
Oh my gosh. I don't know if it was necessarily my favorite moment, but since I'm on the spot, it's the one that's been in my head the whole time, is still the RKO. To Seth Rollins in their match at Mania. It was still towards the beginning of the show. It kind of, it was the first thing that really got me hyped and pumped. And I guess I still haven't come down from that high yet.
Beffy?
My favorite moment was when Bret answered the door. And then you guys got super excited at seeing each other.
Brett
and like
jumped into my arms.
into your arms and almost knocked your ass over.
Okay.
And I injured my ankle further than it was.
Yes.
All right, but what was your favorite moment as far as the wrestling?
Oh, the wrestling.
And
Yeah, because if we're talking non-wrestling,
And we're not talking about-
nutted in his ass.
We're not talking about when I wrestled Brett's cock out of his pants either.
My favorite wrestling moment, I don't know. I guess there's so many that, because it's almost like overload for me, because I'm not used to watching this much wrestling in one sitting, like 2 straight days. But I will say that because, again, like I said last night, Brock terrifies the living shit out of me. When he tore apart that place and was just, and obviously I know the camera guy is, some kind of trained to
he's an
either
indie
take
guy.
moves or whatever, or, a wrestler or whatever. So I know it wasn't a civilian, but just watching him just randomly pull people and just fucking slam them, after throwing shit all over the place. Like, I had a little bit of a just like kind of terrified, like he is going crazy because he gets this look. I don't know if it's all fake. It could be all an act. I don't know if it is, but he gets this look on his face when he's in there. And I kept looking at the Tron to see if it was, because you can't see that close. Looking at the screen, and they would do a close-up of his face. He gets these psycho looks on his face. And so that really
How do you
stuck
think
with
fucking
me.
Sable feels? they get into a fight. She sees that in his face.
Can you even imagine Brock's O face?
It's probably the same face. It's just that
Probably the
stone,
same, yeah.
psycho, piercing eyes.
Exactly. Like, in his mind, he's just, like, exploding her head with his cum. Like, that's what he's picturing happening. No, that is, I guess, maybe because it's most recent, that's what's sticking with me. That and just looking at the sea of people doing the Daniel Bryan yes thing. Which I know is, to you guys, you're like, yeah, I see it all the time, but I don't. So, like, I loved it. Everybody, it's so collective.
It's a cool spectacle.
Yeah, it's so collective that it was just...
Except for the one kid behind us.
one kid behind us! Daniel Bryan sucks! And then we're all shouting yes. He's like, no!
Yep, he totally sucks.
Okay.
Almost threw that kid over the balcony. No.
Someday he'll grow up and get his period.
Yeah.
I'd like to retract my answer. I'm going to say Rollins cashing in at the end of Mania, closing out Mania.
I was gonna say my favorite moment is not so much the cash in, it's Rollins standing at the top of the stage with the belt swinging it in the air.
Yes.
The helicopter.
I love seeing that, the helicopter swing.
But yeah, he's
It's
do that with the
so
NXT
adorable.
title, and it was just awesome to see. Like that dude made it. Like fucking Tyler Black. Tyler fucking Black is the WWE World Champion.
Yep.
Like
That's
I
awesome.
Never fucking thought I'd hear that. It's so cool. And it's actually funny because when he was in Ring of Honor, there was a point, like, after, like, a month or two of him being champion, where he started getting the Cena treatment from the fans. And, you know, because he was just the white meat babyface guy that they were just shoving down people's throats.
Die, Rocky, die.
It was kind of like that. And to see how far that dude has come. Yeah, it was
I know,
cool.
especially with a medium-sized dick.
As we all know. I think that's the perfect way to end this.
I'd also like to say second favorite moment, finger poke 2.0.
Yes.
I went over.
He went over, but we fooled 2 people. We could have committed more, but we would have oversold it.
Stupid sideways video. No edit option. It was fun.
Yeah. As this whole weekend was.
Yes.
Best
This weekend
vacation
was
ever.
Amazing.
Yeah. I don't know what we're going to call this, but it's done.
Fap Chronicles.
Fap Chronicles.
I need to poo.
I think he's serious. He's going to the bathroom.
I am serious.
Later, faggots.